love that.
Okay, so...
She's so fired up.
So...
It's amazing.
I'd say we go into each film individually, but you just be sitting here waiting for us to talk about Bride. So, we're gonna have a conversation. You can leave now. Bye. Alright, so... I guess we could go through...
He's kidding.
No, f***ing leave. Get out. I don't know why you're here. Get out. Not kidding. Alright. So, let's talk about the first film, I guess. But before we do, let's just... I'm gonna talk about how the film came to be, so I can elaborate on why I'm pissed. Alright? We're no longer good guys anymore. We're now entering... No, we're entering... What the f***?
WTF.
We're entering the point where I will flip this table over. Yeah.
And now say why we're using this table.
So I could flip it? So, to explain how the first one came to be, it's created by a guy named Don Mancini. And Don Mancini came up with this whole concept art of a film called Batteries Not Included, and then later retitled Blood Buddy. The idea is supposed to be about this 6-year-old boy who wants this toy, and it's supposed to be social commentary about how in the 80s we had
the Cabbage Patch
the
Kids.
big boom of Cabbage Patch Kids and My Buddy. Basically, the idea is supposed to be, alright, here's your good guy toy, and here's all these accessories that you can buy for your toy. First aid kit. He also pees, and he also bleeds, which means you gotta get the first aid kit. Toothbrush, all these pajamas, and all. Even the film is still there. You got good guy PJs for the kid, cereal, a TV show, all this unnecessary bullshit. The kid decides to make a blood pact with a doll because he's got no friends, he doesn't have a father figure in his life. He makes a blood pact with a doll. And then the first 2/3 of the movie, for the first hour, you're supposed to be thinking, is it the kid or is it the doll? So by the hour mark, the kid's in psychiatric care or arrested for whatever. And then the mom discovers the batteries are not in the doll. And that's where you realize that the doll's alive. And the doll's alive simply because of the blood pact. Because the kid and the doll transferred blood, and now the doll is basically the kid's ID when he goes to sleep at night. So the kid has like rage towards bullies at school, his babysitter who he hates, the teacher who's a bitch. So when he goes to sleep at night, the doll comes to life and it starts to kill his enemies for him because he's your best friend and all this other shit. So the last third of the movie is supposed to be the doll developing more of a personality and going on a rampage when Andy's not around anymore. So eventually, somehow, this whole film culminates into the Good Guy Factory, where the doll gets killed, and oh yay, the day is saved, the doll is dead, yay! And then it ends with this cliffhanger where you see the exploded remains of the doll, the blood, entering a vat of plastic, and it starts making more dolls. That was the sequel hook that he originally intended. So like multiple Chuckies, multiple dolls just being formed, and the mouse smiles at the very end. So then Tom Holland gets involved in the film. He gets involved, he's like, okay, we're rewriting half this script. So, you know what, no, we're gonna start off right from the bat. It's a guy named Charles Lee Ray, because Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and Ray, I think, for... I forget what else it is.
Ray Charles?
No.
Ray Charles.
No.
I don't know.
Ray Charles is a murderer now, okay.
Alright,
Excuse me. I don't know. I don't know any Ray.
alright, so I'll put
Cyrus.
something here later, it, whatever. And it's like, okay, and we're basing him, he's called the Lakeshore Strangler, so we're going to base him off the Hillside Strangler, and the Hillside Strangler had two people involved. They were cousins. One who actually committed the murders, the other one who drove. And so, like, literally, the first half of the movie is part of the original script somewhat, but also not, and then the last half is just all this extra voodoo bullshit that the director added into it. It's like the story of like a 6-year-old boy who really wants the new line of toys from Play Pals called Good Guys, and his mom, she works in a department store in a mall, and her friend's like, okay, your kid needs that doll, right? Yeah. There's a peddler in the back alleyway. What? The mom buys the toy off a street peddler, the most disgusting human being ever.
With his gross teeth.
I think he's missing teeth. And then,
My.
and then, when that night, the friend's babysitting the kid, and then she gets hit over the head with a hammer
The
by some
toy
ominous
hammer.
person. It's supposed to be she gets hit in the head with a hammer, she falls out the
Window.
But it doesn't look like that at all nowadays. It looks like she gets hit in the head with the hammer, and then she just leaps out the window. Like, release me! Ah! And it just falls out the window onto a truck. And the truck's parked the wrong way, too. It's like, what the f***?
Nobody knows what they're doing. In this
You
film.
parked the wrong way, boom!
You get a dead person falling that literally just jumped through the window.
Like, wait, I think I parked my car wrong. Oh! What? God, why?
Hang on.
So, oh God. So for the first half of the movie, it's a mystery because it's like, okay, is it the kid doing this or is it the doll? Despite the fact there's a 10-minute opening sequence that kind of gives away the twist halfway
Right.
through, but you don't really know what's happening.
Right.
The first 10 minutes, it's a guy named Charles Lee Ray who is getting chased by two detectives.
It's just one. Oh yeah. Well, then it goes.
No, he's got his partner's driving the car.
Right.
So Charles is trying to get away. He's got a getaway driver named Eddie Caputo, and Eddie decides to ditch
just
him.
ditch
He
bail,
decides
yeah.
to ditch him, and the one detective chases after Eddie, while Charles is forced to
Go into the toy.
break his way into a toy store and try to outrun the main detective, Mike Norris.
The main detective's hot.
He's in the original Fright Night for anyone who needs.
Oh
to,
my god, I love that movie. I want to bust.
I saw the remake and didn't see the original.
Really?
Really?
You need to see the remake, or no? You need to see the
I already
original.
saw it, okay.
You need to see the original. Sorry, I messed up.
Okay, so basically, if you need to yourself later, look.
If you need to get a, your little action later, yeah, go see that movie.
If you need to, moist, yeah.
Yes, if you need to get moist.
You're like, don't. You're not getting paid for this. I hope you know that.
I know, but I just, sorry.
YouTube, enjoy.
Yes.
Away.
All right, so he gets shot by the detective, and he's just like, I gotta find somebody. What the f is this guy talking about? And he grabs the doll. He starts saying this weird chant. Okay, and you think it's gibberish. It kind of is. It kind of isn't. It's French mixed with Haitian Creole, and then whatever the f. And some English, and they claim it's black magic. I doubt it's real black
Yeah.
magic. You have to suspend disbelief that black magic actually works, and that's probably offensive to someone who practices in that shit. Or does she?
No.
Let's say
She's laughing for it's an inside joke, guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. And if you practice in voodoo or black magic, I'm sorry, but I don't think the first film accurately depicts your religion. But whatever.
Oh my gosh.
He preaches to someone named Dambala, which is like some voodoo god for immortality or something. So there's some essence to that. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Do not put the subtitles on and don't try to run that through Google Translate. You get the weirdest Actually, you get gibberish and then you get something that makes sense and you're just like, the whole wood, dry peas, something. I'm not even kidding. And you're just like, okay, well that happened, that guy's dead, maybe he cursed the doll, maybe it's just a red herring, and then you find out, no, he's inside the doll. His soul is inside the doll, and apparently this is where the franchise establishes rules, very loose rules that you know from previous conversations. This franchise likes to take so many goddamn liberties of. And the rules are, the more time your soul's in this possessed toy, the more human you become. And throughout the film, it looks like he's even turning more human. He looks like Charles a little bit. Like he's going from the red hair, and it looks like he's looking like Brad Dourif did in the opening scene. And it's like, okay, so how do you get out? Well, you gotta transfer your soul out of the doll into the first human being you revealed yourself to, which is conveniently the little 6-year-old boy. And it's like, the f***? Like, okay, well that's not a contrived way to get the kid back into the plot at all, because he's been gone for the past half hour by this point. And he's just gotta find the kid and put his soul back into him, and that's the plot for the first 3 movies. He continuously somehow gets brought back to life. He's gotta always go after him in order to get his soul out of the doll. So all these sequels get later written by Don Mancini. And he has gone on for the record, he hates the voodoo aspect, yet he continues making these films where they involve the voodoo aspect. The whole voodoo thing never makes sense after the first film, so it's like, the more time you spend in the
As
dog,
Zack continued to babble away and mansplain to these two young women, a light bulb finally kicked on in his head, and Zack finally came to a shocking realization that he was babbling away with no one to give a damn. And above all else,
this is really boring.